Hey guys, Kens97Stow171 back with another ATS video. Today, we are going to build a new truck. We've been driving this beautiful Peterbilt here for a bit. Time to move on. Not sure whether we're going to pass this one on to another driver or just stick it in our garage. I'm not totally sure. Smart thing would be to give it to a driver. Let them make money for us. But we'll see. I bought a new garage in Amarillo, Texas. Basically, just a three stall garage for now, just to put trucks, because the next group of trucks we're going to build are all mod trucks. They're not factory trucks, and you really don't want to have your company drivers driving modified mod trucks. If for some reason the mod breaks at some point in the future, it can cause just some problems. Suddenly those drivers have no truck, and it can be a problem. If it's your own truck, it just suddenly becomes unavailable for you to drive. And actually, you can still sell it and get the value out of it, even though the game doesn't recognize it as usable. In fact, if you try to drive it, it'll load in some default truck in place of it. So don't want to really do that. And we have I think 4 or 5 trucks that are seemingly working now. I tested them both in my old profile where I've got more miles and also in this newbie profile. Kind of going off base a little bit here because we've now driven pretty much every truck that the game offers except for the Western Star, which we didn't bother because basically it's a Freightliner Cascadia for all intents and purposes. So what I decided to do today was to build a Freightliner Argosy. Never drove one of these. I drove a Freightliner Century. However, the interior, the dash cluster is identical, and I actually really like it. It's one of my favorite dash clusters. It's all analog, super easy to read. To me, it's like the best dashboard I've seen. It's a little cartoonish in its coloring pattern, some light aqua blues and things. It's that way, but it's super readable, which you kind of want in a truck. The only negative on all of these mod trucks is, as I've mentioned in a previous video, is they're quite heavy. They're all 3,000 to 4,000 pounds heavier than they are in real life. And so you either got to deal with them just being slow or over-engine them pretty significantly to compensate, which we're probably not going to do. In the Argosy, I think I did some research. I picked an engine and a transmission. I do a little bit of research ahead of time, do a preliminary build before we do one on screen, so I'm not just wasting time and shooting into the dark and wasting your guys' time. That way I kind of have a plan for what we're going to do, how we're going to build it. So maybe we can do a build and then drive it, actually. And there's quite a few customizations with lighting on this truck, so it may take us a little extra time. So I didn't want to waste time on the basics. One of the problems I've had with the Argosy is I couldn't figure out how to get the skirts on it properly. And so I actually went into my other profile, which has one of those in it, and I looked to see, okay, what's the setting for that? Because I couldn't find it. Ended up figuring out where it is, and I'll show it to you here when we build it. Because this truck would have skirts. It would have been sold with skirts, probably. All right, well, let's get to it. We're sitting here with this beautiful, I really do like this truck. It is a beautiful rig. There's one of these for sale. It's an older model, kind of near my house. Really beautiful rig. So is the W900. Visually, they're my favorite trucks. The Argosy, though, like I said, I love the dashboard. There are some things I don't like about it. Visibility out of it is a little weird because it's got kind of a sloped windshield. And the mirrors are not optimally placed for game use. Real life, not a problem. But super cool truck with a pretty interesting history. It actually, I don't know when they came out. Would have been in the 90s, I think. And they quit production in like 04. Building them in Mexico for sale in other countries, but not in the U.S. I think the last year here was either 99 or 01 or something. But let's get to it. Let's build one. So we're going to go to Services, Truck Dealer, Freightliner. We'll buy online. And I actually, this is this Argosy, and this is the other one, this FLB, which is its predecessor. They share quite a few things. Dash is similar, um, but not quite the same. It actually would be probably my next favorite. Um, so we'll build one of these. The other one that we have is just show you the ones that we have now. This Kenworth K100. This is a really old mod that I had from a long time ago. There's several versions of it. It's a really cool truck. It's definitely more old school. I don't think I put it in here. I don't think I put it in my mod list. I don't know why I didn't. Because there's a K200, which was sold in Australia. It was never sold here, as far as I know. Yeah, that's interesting that there's some locked ones over here. The other one that I grabbed in the mod list is this International 9800 high roof. This truck is not attractive looking. They could have done something different with the front to make it look better. Super short wheelbase, but it has got a massive interior for its length because you're sitting actually in front of the front wheels, the steer axle. The floor is completely flat inside. It's got a huge area, basically as big as a modern conventional. So this would be a great truck to actually drive. It's just really not pretty looking with the square 80s and 90s looking headlights. It's just not a very pretty truck, but it drives great. And there's a bunch of engines available for it too. What else did we get? I don't think. Oh, let me access the mod dealers here because there was a Mack, this Mack R series. This is a super fun truck to drive. There is a sleeper version, which I've never been able to get to work. I don't know why. It's in the mod list, but it never, I don't know. You can't get it to work. This is a super cool truck. It's quite capable. And it has a bunch of engines that are really cool. Yeah, that was it. And for some reason, the Argosy shows up in in a bunch of other, in the Peterbilt list. I don't know why. So let's get to it. We are going to build the Argosy right now. But let's start with the Argosy. It's kind of my favorite truck, so let's just do that one. We're going to do custom configuration. See how slow it loads in? It really takes a while to load that in, and it does that all the time. I guess because it's a mod truck. I'm not really sure why. I think this truck also seems a little laggy. Maybe it explains why it's so heavy. Maybe just the way they constructed the truck in the mod, and I don't know how that works. So I made some notes. We're going to do the raised roof. We're going to do the big boy. My other one was a spoiler. This is kind of cool too. And if you were going to do more flatbed stuff, which is kind of what we do normally. Sorry, I got an itch under my headset here. God damn, that sucks. If you're going to do more flatbed, you would probably do low roof, because there's no reason to have the big spoiler. But considering we're going to have a lower horsepower engine, we're probably going to do mostly light cargo with box trailers, and just do that, and not concern ourselves so much with the heavy haul stuff, because it's not going to do a great job at heavy haul. We could fix that, but with the 4,000-pound overweightness of this truck, it's not really tuned. It's not really ideal for that. So we're going to do the raised roof. And I discovered that the 6x4, at least that's what I had picked this one in my list of the one that did have the skirts. I don't know whether that's required, but it does give you bigger tanks. And I guess a heavier chassis. I don't know. Maybe that's why the thing's so overweight. I don't know. On engine, I'm going to keep it simple. And we're going to pick this 500 horsepower from Z-Mods. This engine sounds exactly like the engine that I had in my Freightliner. Pretty quiet mechanically and exhaust-wise, with a pretty good turbo whistle. So we're just going to pick that. We could change it. There's a couple other. Here's another 12.7 liter from Z-Mods. This one's 550 horse. I don't know what the sound profile is on that, and it doesn't have the Z-Mods logo, so I'm not actually sure. And then this 14 liter we've driven before in one of the other trucks. This has got a really nice loud, it's a loud exhaust and a loud turbo. We're going to go quiet on this one. So we're going to pick that engine. It's only 500 horse, so this is not going to be a killer powerful truck. On the transmission, I did some investigations with ChatGPT. I would have been tempted to do the it's right here. This EXDP. This is an automated manual transmission that shifts pretty fast. Doesn't really fit with this truck, and it probably would not have ever been in this truck. It suggested using the RTLO, and I'm going to have to look at my notes because there's actually a couple of these. So ChatGPT, based on the 1200 RPM peak torque, it recommended the 336 differential, which seems high to me. I seem to remember picking 308 previously, but we're gonna go with it. Oh, 336 gears. There's two of them here. There's this RTLO 16918B. Farther down here, there's a 22. So I asked what the difference is between the 22 and the 16, and this is 2,200 pound-feet of torque limit rate, and the other one is 1,600 approximately. This, where the hell did it go? Okay. This is a great mod pack because it's got so many transmission ratios. There it is. This 16.9 is, it's a lighter weight transmission. It shifts a little bit better, and it is what would have been matched with this engine, not the 22. So we're going to pick that. I got a feeling, if you look at the ATS thinks this is not really a great match, that we should go taller on the ratio to bring this. I would normally try to make these more even for a truck like this anyway, because it's not a heavy haul truck. We'll go with this. We can always change it later if we find it's revving too much. Because there is, see if we do that, they're closer. But ChatGPT said 336 is the optimal ratio. We will see if they're lying, if it's lying. Color. Let's pick something cool. There's actually not that many options other than custom colors. I looked around. That one looks pretty cool to me. This one looks cool too, and it matches kind of Schneider Orange, which was who I used to work for back in the day when I drove a Freightliner. So we might pick that. The white is a little... Caterpillar, I wouldn't do that because it's not, doesn't have a Caterpillar engine in it. Black. And then there's that one too, which is kind of cool looking. And then this one, which is blue. I guess you can't really change the colors. And then there's just some, basic colors. So I'm kind of inclined to pick that one or that one. They're both basically free. Easier to see it at night when it's a lighter color. So let's do that. I'm going to start with the easy things, and then there's a whole bunch of lights that are available in the front of this truck and on the roof too. So let's get the basics done first. Normally I do that first and then do the wheels, but let's get the wheels and stuff done first. Let's do a metal door handle. That would have probably been what was on it. And what I discovered, see how the dots, like the tank should be available from this view, but you got to look like that. Round tanks is what I had set, which it would have been because this truck would not have had a def tank on it. It's way before that. And I don't think you can get the skirts if you use the square tanks, because the square tanks are kind of cool and they actually hold more fuel. But we're going to pick what I had with the other setup, just because I know it works. We can try and change it. Maybe we'll see. And to get the skirts, you got to go over here because you don't see it any other way. And right there, this one shows fenders. And then you get the skirts. But it's like it's the dots in the weirdest place. And then like here, some of these, see, like here you got like that. And we want to do, let's do a full chassis cover. And then right over here, this suddenly appears. Oh, we can't have both. That's unfortunate. Although it wouldn't really matter when you're hauling a trailer because your trailer is over the top of this anyway. We'll take the skirts instead. It's too bad you can't have both of those because it'd be nice to have that and that. But you can't. On the mud flaps, let's do, I don't know, let's do flames. Nah. Or Freightliner. Let's do Freightliner logo. Here, let's put the arrow lights, which puts lights up the side here, which is kind of cool. And let's do dual pipes. And do that. Dual mitered pipes. We could do that. That's going to be shooting right back on your trailer, which you really wouldn't want. That's a little better. And I think straight up is probably what we'll do. That's weird because I remember there being an exhaust that went flared out to the side. That's kind of strange. It's not available. Let's see if we can change. See, it says item A, revert connected parts. That one and that one does the same. The only two you could have is this one and that one. And there are already lights on the skirts. Okay, let's see what wheels we're going to do. Super singles, which would probably not have been on this truck, but I like the super singles, so that's what we're going to do. Let's see, Seagull Black. Kind of want to do a painted color, or black would be cool. Kenworth black. Let's see what's available on the front. Is dynamic. Dynamic is also available. They're pretty expensive though, so let's do let's just do standard painted. Or standard chrome wide, we could do that too. Make them black. Yeah, we could do that. That'll work. Or make them white. Yeah, we could make them white, then they match the color of the truck. I do kind of like the black. Yeah, is there any... We could put arrow caps on it, actually. In which case, it doesn't matter what wheel we put. Let's do that. We'll skip. We'll do steel wide. Doesn't matter. Or the alloys might be lighter. Steel advanced, standard painted, standard wide. Let's do those. Let's do standard wide. We could just do the standard on the front too. Standard wide. Of course, having black hubcaps doesn't make any difference because you can't see them anyway. But since we have the skirt package, let's just paint them. We'll do them white. And then we'll do... I like this grip one. That seems to work well. Yeah, we'll just make the stripes. Usually I go 50%, but that'll work. It's too bad you can't have a cover over this too. You know, that'd be cool. I mean, you could in real life. You could fabricate something. Um, okay, so what we did standard, painted. We'll also go just white. In the front, though, we can go black caps and standard painted. We'll just paint it white. And then on the tire, we'll do I usually do is it that one? We'll do that one and do the same, paint it white. Okay, so that's it for there. Too bad you can't get lights up the top of it. Also kind of too bad you can't put an arrow shield around the top here too, you know, just to cover this in. But you can't. So, all right, let's work on the front now. This will take us a while. So I'm just going to do, I looked at this before. The painted bumper, honestly, has the best. There's a big chrome one down here that has lights. Those lights aren't going to do anything. They're not going to show anything on the ground, so there's no point. And this one does give us a ton of lighting options, which is kind of cool. Some of them are not that useful, like there ought to be, like fog lights or something. But let's just see what we can do here. We might just do these Borman lights. Let's see if anything else is available. Okay. Well, that fits in that hole really good, so let's do that there. That makes sense. I don't even know if they'll light up. That kind of sticks out. So maybe we should do just amber. I'm not even sure you'll be able to see those though. Let's see. Yeah, they are visible. Let's do the same. Amber, amber. I do wish you could like copy paste. Could be a little much on the lights, but it'll make it interesting looking anyway. And then right here, I don't know. I think if you pick anything here, let's just see what it does. It puts them on the surface. Okay, that'll work. Because I think if you pick like an actual fog light like that, it like sticks out from the bumper, which you don't really want. It looks a little weird. So we'll do surface mounted lights. As I've mentioned before, I really wish you could make this nighttime so you could actually see what those look like in the dark. But you can't. Okay, so that's that. There's a bull bar you can do too, but that's a little much. On the front, you got a plastic grill, you get a chrome thing like that. I think honestly, the plastic one looks better. And once again, there's a ton of lights we can do. So we're going to do the same, probably. Maybe in the middle here, we'll do white. Do amber. Oh, that sucks. Okay, well, that might be a reason to change these down here. Because not the same ones are available. We could also just leave them blank and not bother. I wonder what's available in here. It's the same. Yeah. Okay. Same. Okay. So is light chrome 4. We could just do light 6. We could do that. We could also do white up here instead of amber. It'd be nice to make these all match. So let's take a look real quick and see if these are available down here. They are. So maybe we do that. Although those Borman lights are brighter. So let's just leave those there rather than change them. We'll do different up here. Maybe let's go with the oval shaped ones. Let's see how stupid that looks. Or good. We'll try this light chrome 4 and just see which. Okay, why does that one not even show up? Okay, those look identical. The oval goes with the rest of the lights on the truck, which might be a reason to change these too. So let's do that. This is why I said I wanted to do this last, because and maybe up the chrome here, maybe we'll do white. White chrome. I don't know whether the 5 means it's brighter than the 3. I guess we can, let's check real quick. Maybe we can look at them side by side. Can't even see it. God. You know, interestingly, these actually look brighter than those. So we might end up changing these too. Of course, they're square up here, which would be interesting maybe to match the whole front, but the side is oval, so. Actually, we're going to be changing this too. There's a amber lip light that goes across here. It's one of the options. Okay, so let's put those to, what did we make these? Chrome 6. You see, now you can actually see the lights come on. So let's change these two. Oh shit, that's not what I wanted to do. That one. I do wish they would have a better way to do this. Select the lights that you want. Click, 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 click. Select the light that you want to make them. Click. Have some process that you could do that. Okay. Oh, forgot one. Yeah, those show up more now. Might be too much. We can always remove them. So, so a coffee cup. Let's see. It's weird. That's the back. There are two. Door. Bug deflector. Oh, that's interesting. What does that do? Yeah, it doesn't really look great. Chrome bug deflectors. There's actually a cut through. No, there's not. Okay. Main mirrors. We'll do painted. Once we get to the interior, driver plate, GPS, there's a dash option. A stone guard. You put a stone guard up too. It's very difficult to see through it. You see those are pretty popular in Australia. There's a front mirror you can stick there like that. Not that useful in the game, so I don't bother. The visor, there's two choices. My Century had this too. You can do the stock visor, or you can do the amber strip. I think this is a reflector. And then there's a bunch of lights. We can do both of these actually, because it kind of enables, Jesus Christ, $4,200. It lets you put some lights on the roof here. And just from personal experience, these those work pretty well. So we're going to do that. Load it up. The round one is an option too. It's just bigger and it sticks up a bit more. That's a little more flush. And then there are some lights on the side you can do here too, which will probably just make the same as these ambers here. Which, of course, are not in the damn list. So we'll do that instead. It'd be nice if you could match them. Sometimes you can't. Although we could make it a turn signal blinker. Amber plus marker blinker left. Right. We can make that a blinker. That's a decent place to put a blinker. So we can do one there too. And then on the other side, let's do it the same, but make it the left amber blinker. And left amber blinker. That's a good location for them. And then there's some ones on the roof here that you can do. And again, unfortunately, the lights we used in the front aren't available, so we'll just do marker lights. We'll do let's see if those can even be seen. This one is, you can't even see this one. See how they're kind of under the surface? It's not really, that's not really helpful. You could put like a stick-up light like that if you wanted, but I'm not going to do that. The rest of these, actually, do they all show? Yeah, they do. So they're all lit. It's really too bad that there weren't other, that we couldn't use these same ones here to match. Yeah, that sucks. It happens sometimes. You know what? These actually might do weird things. Sometimes they show through into the interior, oddly. So let's just take these out. Occasionally they screw up. And actually, this may be a problem on this one here. So I'm gonna remove these two as well. I had this trouble before. That light will shine into the cabin and it blinks in your eye. So we'll take that one out too. Unfortunately, I just remembered that as an issue. So we'll take those off. Okay, we'll just leave it blank. That was a lot of time spent doing nothing. Interesting, there's no horn choice. Okay, we have the arrow kit. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's these lights down the side. Okay. We already did that. This is a cool truck. When you open the door, there's a pivot point right here, and when this opens up, it doesn't show it here, but there are steps on the inside here on some models. So instead of having to climb the steps on the side, this folds out and then you just walk up steps into the cab. It's a really cool design. In this case, it's got the ladder here on the side. Okay, we'll go inside the truck now and just see if there's anything else we missed. All right. Actually, I don't know that I've driven the Argosy since I got the 1440 monitor. So, driver plate. You can put a GPS there if you want. Stone guard. You can put a radio right there. Problem with these that I don't like is this, and in real life, this would be the case. This thing sits here and wiggles when you're driving, and you're not going to use the CB, so it's kind of pointless. Again, shit hanging in the windshield. No, thank you. You can put a dash cam, co-driver plate. This one doesn't have an option to put a cat right here, which would be definitely cool. Yeah, there's no cat there. That's the mirror. The mirrors, like, why is the button there for it? It's really, see how there's actually a small hump in this truck even. In that International 9800, there's no hump here at all. It's completely flat. A little short joystick, cup holder stuff. Dash. Oh, that's interesting. I actually prefer the black bezels. The chrome makes it harder to read the stupid gauges. Doesn't really help. Doesn't really add anything. Unfortunately, you can't change the wood. The wood trim is something that they did back then. Let's see if there's any. Yeah, there's no configurator for the interior cab. It does have wing danks. That's interesting. I don't think my Freightliner Century had the open triangle windows right here. One of the best things ever designed. Wish car still had these. You can crack this open and have air blow. This flips open and it catches air, blows it right in your chest, or you can angle it towards the front of the windshield to defrost the windshield. It's like one of the best things ever that they got rid of. Okay, guys, I believe. Let me just go through. We got the right chassis. We got the right engine. We got the 336 differential. We got the color that we want. We got all the stuff done on the outside. Oh, what's this? Main mirrors. Radio. Main front mirror. There's no option up here to do anything. I wish there was an option to have this just painted instead of chrome. Honestly, I think it would look better without the chrome. Not a big chrome guy, in case you guys didn't notice. All right. So that should help with our fuel efficiency, all of these things. It'd be cool if there was a flow below option, to which you probably could add it if you in real life if you owned one of these. The flow below fills in the spaces. You've seen it in the other trucks. It fills in this space here, and having a thing over the top there it'd be good. But of course, it didn't exist for this truck when it was built. All right, guys, confirm. Purchase, and we're going to send it to Amarillo. All right, so let us go and find our truck. God, see how it lied like that? Drive it. Yes. All right. Now, let us go ahead and let's see where the Peterbilt is. It's still in Abilene. So let's look at our garage manager and see what where we'd like to put it. So we could put it in Houston because we still have room for one more truck in Houston. So let's do that. And that's a heavy haul capable truck, so that would make sense for Houston too. There's a lot of heavy haul. So let's transport it to Houston, and then we'll put a driver in it from there. Relocate to Houston, put it there. Recruitment agency. Hire a driver. Let's see if anybody has more. She has more experience for less money. Or no, it's more money. She has those two. Okay, so she's definitely the best candidate. Hire the driver. Abilene. Put her in our old truck. And there she goes. And we got a new driver. And then we hope that the Argosy actually works. So, let's take a minute to get the truck situated. See, when I talk about the mirrors, they're big, and in real life, they're great. They're really large mirrors, and they're definitely in your peripheral vision. So let's just look at field of view real quick. We're at 77, which is already pretty wide. We can move the steering wheel up a bit. And we got to decide, like, what is that gauge? Battery voltage. We may have to see once we're... because we're blocking. That might be good. Let's see telescoping if that... All right, let's do that. Adjust mirrors, which we can't fully do. We can get an idea, though. Just touch the edge of the wheel there. It's probably about right. Left convex. Down. All the way to the right. That should let us see the trailer. All the way down, all the way right. And there's no side mirror, which I should have put. I didn't know if there was an option for one or not. Adjust lights. High beam. Roof auxiliary on. And there's the gauge cluster, which, like I said, super visible, easy to read, big numbers. One of the best dashes in the game. We're actually a little far away. And we might change that. We might jump in a little bit on the seat adjustment on the field of view. I don't normally go 77. That's interesting. There we go. I usually do 72. But let's maybe go 75. So we can still see our mirrors. We can always use the digital mirrors instead. So, let's see, we can look out. When we look to the left, we can completely see to the left. All right. let us see what freight we have. Let us stick with dry and something close. Okay, that's pretty short. A little too short, honestly. $300 miles. Be over, and then down. It's kind of light. I'd like to go a little heavier than that and give it a real workout. Yeah, that's really short. We're going to have to drive halfway. It's a little too long. Maybe we'll do that one. It's still pretty heavy, 39,000. Let's see on the refrigerated what's available. Yeah, I think we're going to do that one. Yeah, I think we'll do that. This will give us a little bit of back road too. What we're going to do is we're going to fly through the air to get to the pickup location because I want to save time. It's cheating, but, you know.
Ready to roll.
Ready to roll. Okay. So the way you do that is you go 0, up, and then you fly through the air. I want to be careful not to overdo it. If you go below the level of the map, it can cause some problems. Yes, this is cheating, guys, I know. But I don't feel like driving 40 miles to the pickup. All that would have given, it would have given us a chance to drive our new truck. And it's 72 miles, though, man. That's going to take us a bit of time. If it was a little closer, I could quick travel. I could have quick traveled to Dallas, too. That might have been another way to do it. But that's just as much cheating, and it costs money. Which this doesn't. Oh, there's our... And you got to slow down with the scroll wheel. So you don't want to go below. And then you hit Control F9.
Reroute.
Control F9. And then you're...
Keep left, and then turn left.
No, it's up here.
Turn left.
Couple of visibility issues. The A-pillar on this truck is really big and kind of blocks your view. So it's one of the things I don't like about this truck is...
This is where it ends.
There are some visibility issues. Which people complain about in real life. Earn money using your own truck. That's interesting. Oh, I guess there's multiples. So we're going to take that one.
Let's do this.
Actually, I do feel like we're too far or too close to the steering wheel. So maybe the 77 was correct. Oh, they've changed some things. Look at the top of the logo on the map there. It's got your dollar amount, how much you've done in 7 days, and then how far along you are to your destination, I'm guessing. Get your miles per hour, and then... Interesting. Yeah, they've done some changing. I raised the volume in the streaming software, OBS. You can hear a lot of turbo whistle. Get hooked to the trailer, and then we'll double check our mirrors are decent.
Let's go.
That one probably needs to come out some. Oops. God, I keep hitting it twice. Jesus. Let's take a look at the right one there. The right one probably needs to come out. Or in, rather. Nah, all we see is the, maybe the trailer is slightly misaligned. Because the left one here looks pretty good. You could actually do that if you want, but to give you a reference, you can see the last tire there just a little bit. So, all right, let's see if we're lit on the roof. We are. And the ones on the bottom are lit too. Nice. The lights would look good if this truck was completely black too. The lights would really pop if the color was black. It'd be an option as well. Do a blacked out version of this. We could always change it later. The wheels and everything are colorable, so why do we not have... Oh, the high beams are on. Okay. You can see the light bar on the top there. Alright, guys. Let's get her going. 60 series Detroit, man. God.
Turn right.
Just one of the best. Probably the best engine ever built. N14 is up there too. The big cam, Cummins. But as far as just simplicity and reliability, 60 series Detroit is pretty unbeatable. I watch enough, YouTube mechanics, truck mechanics that are on YouTube and Facebook, and they
keep left and then turn.
They've been asked that question, and they often. The one guy was like, "I like the N14 personally the best. Like it's just his favorite engine." But he's like, I can't discount the fact that the Series 60 is probably the best engine ever made. So, again, keep in mind that we're heavy. We're 39,000 pounds, which is not that heavy.
Keep left and then turn left.
But this truck probably weighs 4,000 pounds heavier than it should. So, if we scale this truck, if we get the opportunity to scale, we're going to find that it's significantly heavier. And hence why it's a bit slow. We got the turbo gauge, the boost gauge down there on the lower left below the tack. That's nice.
Go straight on.
And the display there above the steering wheel gives you your cruise control set speed and your
Keep
actual
right,
digital speed,
and then
which is
turn
nice.
Turn right.
I really wish that I don't know if there's a Coronado. There's no Freightliner Century in the game. I need to look and see if there's a Coronado, which is kind of a Freightliner Century, but more squared off like an FLD. It's a little more long-nosed than the Century was, or the Cascadia. You see the speed, the cruise control number goes up and down right there, and then your actual speed is right above it. You get your gear, what gear you're in right there in front of you. It's just a super good dashboard. 30 West. We need 30 West. The game has been updated again, actually, since the last time I played it, so interesting to see if there's any changes that are noticeable. It gives you a, you know, a summary telling you what changed, but it really ought to upshift right now, but and this engine is going to rev more. Peak torque's 1200 revs. There it goes. That's still 8 low. What she look like going down the road. Well, let's not crash our brand new truck. The headlights are okay. Looks like the headlight mods in there for mod truck seems to be working okay. Not as good as some of the other trucks, but it's good enough. You could relegate yourself to just doing daytime. Yeah, so we can't buy another truck for a little while, you know, because we have only $78,000 left now. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, because we bought the garage first, which I didn't show. We're still in 8L. There we go. Let's go up to 70. Let's go to 75, actually. The lights in the when you look in the mirror, those lights on the are a little overwhelming. And now let's go to 80. It hauls freight just fine. Like, it's just, you notice that this truck, if anything, it ought to be lighter than a modern Volvo, being a cab over. Okay, we are in 8 high. So we're probably we could probably go a little taller in the gearing, but we're still well within the RPM range. And the turbo just sings. But the exhaust is quite quiet in this truck, which is nice. And it is in real life. I drove one. You know something I just realized? I think one of the mirrors is down. One of the windows, I mean. me a second, guys. Let me get the steering wheel, the keyboard. Oh, shit. I really need to have a window up and down button on my... Okay, maybe it's the other side.
Keep left.
Yeah, I think that right window was down slightly. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, the on the map there. Let's drop it back down to the speed limit. We forgot to reset our fuel economy. Damn it. Did you hear that? It sounded like somebody had the radio on. A lot of useful information. There's your oil and water temperature. And then back. It's got just enough useful information there to be good. So you got your dollar amount. The bank up there shows your dollar amount. What your profitability has been in the last 7 days. Boy, those high beams are nice. And then the truck, trailer, and cargo is the damage of the cargo. Probably can turn that off since I have no damage turned on. So that's new. You know, what I've done in the past is, in this truck, if you want, you could throw a super powerful engine in it to compensate for its weight. Of course, the mod could have been fixed. If we get a chance...
Keep right, and then exit right.
We're probably not going to get a chance.
Exit right.
Let's see what... Yep, that's what the engine brake sounds like. It has that kind of ka-thunk sound when it downshifts, when the engine brake comes on. Like that.
Keep left, and then turn left.
I don't remember if my Freightliner did that or not.
Turn left.
Yeah, see, there's one issue in the game. That mirror is right in the wrong place. I kind of wish it was forward a bit. You know, a lot of these are issues that are not happening in real life. They're just issues in the game.
Go straight on.
Forgot how much I love how this truck drives. Other than visibility. Interesting, the FLB, the predecessor to this. Yeah, those low beams are not amazing, but they're not horrible. Those are great. And that's due to the lights on the roof. Let's see if there's... Is there a place to scale? No, there's not. Damn. There probably was where we started at one of the... Interesting it's not... Oh, I know why, because I've got some of the... I got some of the things turned off. And that's why I wasn't seeing them. Let's see. Yeah. There was a scale right there, but it would have been out of our way. Well, maybe next time. Just from experience, it's... Well, let's see. There might be one right here. Oh, there is one right here. There's a scale right there. So we can scale it just before we get to the destination. If I remember, which I might not. I'm curious to see what we weigh. What's our fuel efficiency looking like? 5.7. That's something else I noticed with this truck is it's not as efficient as it should be, given the engine power. And it's, oops, and it's pretty aerodynamic too.
Keep right.
So we'll just go through these, you know, probably do this one, then the FLB. And then the International 9800. I think we'll probably put some pretty serious miles on the 9800. That's also one of my favorites to drive. It's ugly as hell to look at least to me. It's not that attractive looking. Maybe in the right paint scheme, it could be better.
Keep left.
That dude. Maybe in the right paint scheme, it could be better to look at, you know. But it is a great it's a great driving truck. Although it does hop a bit. Like when you're on the throttle, it lifts to the front because the wheelbase is so short. And it is a little wiggly driving it because of that too. But man, what a great rig. I wish I could have this dashboard. I'd like to have this dashboard in just about every damn thing. The FLB does not have that angled back A-pillar. It's more vertical, so you can see around it a little easier, actually. This creates a real dark spot, you know, over there on the left. And then the speed.
Go straight on.
Great.
Go straight on.
I love the turbo noise on this engine, though.
Go straight on.
This kind of feels like when you come home or go back to a place you haven't been for a while that you really had fond memories of. I drove that Freightliner Century for about 300,000 miles. When they gave it to me, it had 6 something on it, and when I turned it in, it had 9 something on it. It was an amazing truck. It was kind of a rattle trap that, you know, it had a lot of miles on it, and it was, you know, a company truck too. You know, freight shaker. Rattle your teeth a little bit. Oh, what's going on up here? Got a roundabout, or what the hell is it? There's a traffic light. No, just turning left.
Go straight on. Keep left, and then turn left. Turn left.
Yes, I know it's a red turn arrow. Don't do that in real life. I just confused it by putting my foot down on the throttle. Yeah, that A-pillar is just gigantic. This truck was pretty high-tech. It actually, like the Euro trucks, it had the front part of the cab was suspended also. It didn't just pivot in the rear. It had four air suspension on all four corners. Where the FLD did not, or the FLB. I think. I can't remember. The FLD, I think, is the long nose, and the FLB is the cab over. I'm pretty sure that's correct. I'd like to have some spotlights on the left front of the bumper, pointing outward, like lighting up that whole area to the left. Yeah, this thing drives nice, man. I think ChatGPT was right about the transmission. It shifts well. The RTLO transmissions. It's a little slower to shift sometimes, but it shifts correctly. Probably more efficient. And we're getting to Gibby Sunrise. The other thing we could do is what? I wonder if there's a setting for I just noticed on the engine brake there, it's set on 2. I wonder if there's an option for increasing that. Options. Controls. Let's see. We probably want buttons. Truck. Engine brake. Diff lock. That's interesting. There's a button you can make for a gearbox switch for automatic versus sequential. I don't remember that being an option previously. I don't have another spare button on my steering wheel, but I could get rid of one of these. I could get rid of that button right there and make that button. That would allow you to, like, if you have you want to upshift it and it doesn't want to upshift, but most of the time you run on automatic, you could tap that and then hit the paddle button and go up a gear. That's good to know. I'll have to figure out what button to use for that. What key command is free. Suspension reset, toggle, engine brake. So it's not, there's no button for it set. Oh, retarder increase and decrease. But that's not the same thing as engine brake increase and decrease. Have to look into that. Let's finish our drive. I'll look at that another time. But yeah, I don't have a button set for that either. So, because I think it's at level 2. I think there are 6 levels. I could depend on the engine too. Some things for me to yeah, see it says 2 there. That's retarder. And then when I get on the brake, that's engine brake. It says automatic. Maybe it goes to the maximum. I don't know. Or maybe that's engine brake. And that's retarder. Yeah, probably. We didn't use much fuel, but we do have 350-gallon tanks on board, too. Boy, that'd be expensive to fill up right now, wouldn't it? I seen a guy yesterday on Facebook posting a little short. He was filling his truck up. 350 gallons it's going to be over $1,700. Same steering wheel, by the way, that I had in my Century. I don't think the Century was around that long. The Cascadia came out not long after, and most of the companies seemed to have switched to the Cascadia. It was a little cheaper interior, I think. I'm surprised this road has a speed limit of 75. It seems a little fast. So the scale's going to be up here on the left. Whoa, horsey baby. Whoa. Good almighty. A little close. Don't do that. Yeah, see on this RTLO Eaton transmission, see the gear says LL, and then it'll go low high. It's a 16 plus 2, and I think it's got 2 extras on the low side, I believe. Which is nice because it does give you some advantage with a heavy if you had something heavy. Yeah, then 1L, 2L, we're skip shifting, 3L, 4L. So we're going to go in here to the gas station and might as well fill up the fuel tanks while we're here too. We could actually weigh it and then let's turn off the engine brake.
Finding a new route.
Yeah, finding a new route. That's nice. Let's see what we weigh. Yeah, 90,000 pounds with a 39,000 pound cargo. We should be at like it's way overweight. That's what I was talking about. With 45,000 pounds on the box, it ought to be right about 80,000 pounds gross weight. This is a refrigerated trailer though, so it's a little heavier. But it's way heavy. Fortunately, the game doesn't penalize you for being overweight. But it is something to consider. And it certainly doesn't help with the fuel efficiency and any of that. We're going to go ahead and fill up the fuel tanks while we're here. Yeah, like right there, that blind spot right there with the A-pillar. It's pretty significant. Yeah. Oops. That'd be helpful, though. Well, they got the diesel price matched up, 5.11. It's funny, it didn't tell me the price. I don't think there's an exit over here. So we'll do what we did just a minute ago. Go through the handy cap spot. I just noticed too, there's a window over there. When we do the FLB next, I might be inclined to use this same engine. I don't know. The FLB would have had, I don't know what engine would have been in it, actually. Might be good to find out. Certainly this truck would have had a 12.7 liter Detroit or 14 liter. That absolutely, oh come on, I just floored it again right in the middle of its shift and it changed its mind.
Keep left and then turn left.
The turn signal noise is correct. Oh man. Takes me back.
It was a nice ride.
Yeah. Keep in mind we're 90,000 pounds weight too, so. Oh. That's fucking convenient right there. We'll just do a blind side. I was thinking about doing a UE in there, but let's not do that. Situations like this is where that 9800 International is nice because it's so short. It's very much like a European cab over in that way. It's got a really nice creep speed going backwards. Which is exactly what you want. you want to just be able to... Yeah, I should have turned back sooner. You want to keep your movement going, so you can see the angle change. This thing has a really nice reverse speed. Oh, I fucked that up. It's probably going to be okay for the game, but not okay for me. Yeah, we're in it, but that's a shit. And I could have just pulled straight forward at any point there and made my life easier, but that takes away some of the challenge. Nice. That's better. Alright, guys. That'll be it for this one. Won't be enough to get to the next level, but... So we're going to go back out to that truck stop, and we'll do a sleep. And we could also see what freight is available right here. But if we sleep, we'll gain some money from our... Let's see what options they have. Junction to... Oh, that's a nice long trip. It expires in 4 hours. It's heavy, too. There's that one. Look at that. That's a good paying one. 11 hours. We'll see. But that pays really nice. And it's, like, shorter for, like, double the money. And it's super light. But it's actually that it says it's urgent delivery, so we don't want to sleep. We don't want to get it and then sleep. It's also fragile and high value cargo. That's why it pays so much. So be tempted to grab that and forget the sleep break. And then I'll make another we'll do another stream once I grab that load. Let's see if there's anything else available here at Junction. Nah. Shit. See if there's anything else that pays. They'd only pay $25,000. And it's going 480 miles. So that one for $40,000 is really good. We should probably take that right now while it's there. There it is right there. Let's do by price per distance, and it's that one. Yeah, let's grab that and do that. That's by far the highest paying load. And we'll just not worry about, money made by sleeping. So what we need to do then is... Oops. That's too good of a deal to pass up. Take the job.
Time to hit the road.
It's right there. It's 40,000 bucks, guys. Oh, the shadow from the tree, that's really cool. Yeah, I just wanted to grab this load while it was available. It's such a valuable load relative to everything else available right now.
Time to get the job done.
So we'll get out of here, and then I'll go to that truck stop. Oops. This is where a low deck roof would be better. Let's go ahead and let's check our fuel economy real quick. Yep, 5.7. Let's reset that. And then I'll start another stream where we take this load, because I need to get up and take a break for a minute. I want to try to work out that engine brake and transmission setting, and I'll do that off camera. We don't need fuel, actually, so... Could have just stayed at the shipper there. We'll go in here like a proper trucker and actually do it. Let's actually, we can weigh ourselves. We got full tanks. Weigh ourselves again. I'm curious to see... I think this was 29,000 pounds. We'll just weigh ourselves, and then I'll come back and I'll do a different stream when we're driving this, because it's over 400 miles.
Never mind. I'll find a new route.
She'll find a new route. Let's see what we weigh. We got... God, I did that again. I stopped short because I'm used to the nose being right there. Yeah, 78,420. So... 78. $29,000. Means our truck and trailer, I'm guessing the truck and trailer weigh 49,000 to 420. When it really should weigh like 35,000. Yeah, it's something like that. It's the Argosy in particular is quite heavy. All right, guys, that'll be it for the stream. I appreciate you guys stopping by. It doesn't look like anybody commented, so it's kind of a weird time of the day. But maybe somebody will watch it later on. So I'm going to come back. I need to take a break, and then we'll continue this load in my next, and I'll update the stream information for the load. Talk to you guys later. Signing off. Be safe out there.